I have no idea how this has happened.
Why is she doing that? Like, what's going on?
I really hope that she gets so much time just for that one alone. But for some strange reason, my channel has turned into What is Wrong with Women?
I see Kim as possibly the most evil person in the entire Kardashian clan. I actually see her as worse than her mom.
Your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise. Wow!
And today's episode is no different. And then you have Rachel, who's playing Snow White, and she just so happens to be as toxic as the apple that she has to eat.
Lucky you, Pearl. Lucky you.
All right, let's talk about it. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Trauma Pond HQ. My name's Olivia and this is where we sit by the pond and we have a little chat. And today we are going to talk about something that has been constantly popping up on my For You page. It's something that goes back a few years. I believe it's back to 2018 in the UK with Celebrity Big Brother. Today we're going to talk about Roxanne Pallet and her accusations that she made against Ryan Thomas. These were pretty severe allegations. She was accusing him of beating her. Part of me was actually understanding why the entire scenario was a little bit more exaggerated in her head. However, there's other parts of this that tell me she did this solely out of spite. So, without any further ado, I'm just going to jump into this because there's so much to unpack with this particular episode. Let's get into it. Let's have a little look at what started these allegations.
Most of the housemates are in the dining area.
Ryan, I've got a clean towel. I've got a little towel that I'm going to use. Ow! Woman beater.
Go on, what?
Bloody hurt.
Did it, sorry?
I was going to ask if you want your washing on, but I might shrink him instead. I might shrink them.
Just going to stop it right there. That's what happened. That is the whole scenario of what happened. Ryan goes up, does his play fighting with Roxanne. He's got a ring on, and his ring made contact directly onto her rib. Now, of course, that is a mistake. Of course, that is going to have like a sharp turn into it. Now, originally, my thought process was the reason why this ended up escalating in her head so much was because they are in a house confined by all of these people and not being able to talk around. Things get played on your head. Memory gets altered in certain situations. And one of my favorite studies of all time.
My book report is on the giving tree. Nerd!
Is actually a memory study between Loftus and Palmer. The Loftus and Palmer study was a fantastic study that went to show that if you use certain words to describe an event, it will alter the person's memory of that particular event. I will link that study down below. Instead of me going through it all, I always want people to do their own research into certain things, just so that you have a little bit of a working idea as to what I'm referring to. But it did actually say that certain words will make an event so much worse. In this, she straight away called him a woman beater. And I reckon that particular word exacerbated the term of events that ended up coming up from all of this. Not to say that this is not her being innocent. I do believe that there is a part of the bad memory recollection because of the word choice. However, I don't think that her personality helped this scenario at all. Let's look at a little bit more.
Oh, he's been beaten up by Corrie's Jason Grimshaw. How? Big brother, that hurt.
So as she walked away and started doing her own thing, she was talking to Big Brother, letting them know that that hurt. This was the start of the simmering pot before it started boiling over.
Hi, Big Brother.
Hello, Roxanne.
I don't feel comfortable sleeping in the same room as Ryan. Can't sleep. I'm now suffering and I'm having to alter my experience because somebody else was violent.
Roxanne, Big Brother understands that the spare bedroom is not the ideal situation, but obviously we don't want you to go back into the bedroom if you're feeling safe and uncomfortable.
I can't believe you're letting him stay here.
Roxanne, Big Brother can assure you that we're taking this very seriously.
It has to be because it's awful.
It's really hard to know as to whether or not she really conducted this agenda with Ryan authentically. Just from this. It doesn't make any sense as to why anyone would do that. But, I'm not in this person's head, but it really does seem as though she really wants a lot of attention. This is pure attention-seeking behaviour, or potentially victim mentality behaviour.
After reviewing the footage, Roxanne, Big Brother can assure you that we're taking this very seriously.
It has to be because it's awful.
After reviewing the footage and having spoken to Ryan, we can reassure you that you are safe.
I'm going to get nominated now for being unsociable.
Big Brother suggests you don't worry about anything like nominations. All we care about is that you're feeling comfortable and safe.
That's where her head went. Nominations? Okay, I will tell a little personal story as to why I'm starting to think that this is potentially narcissistic behavior. This is something that my mum used to do. A particular story that I can share is one time whenever I was visiting home, because like I say, I live in Australia, they're back in Ireland. A couple of days before I was leaving, my mum gets very aggressive when people get up and leave. She gets very, very angry. It's almost an attention style form of like abandonment issues or something like that, which I can get. But she gets exceptionally aggressive and very violent towards anyone whenever they're doing something that she doesn't agree with, which for me was going back to Australia. And I learned this pattern of behavior after a couple of times. Whenever I was going off to college and things like that, she would always start up a fight just a couple of days before getting on the plane. The last time I was in a physical altercation with my mum was absolutely losing her mind over nothing. It's always nothing. There is absolutely nothing that would exacerbate someone to be this level. I was telling my mum to calm down, and by doing so, I grabbed her arms, very lightly, might I add, but I grabbed her arms and told her to calm down. She was yelling and screaming for no reason. She shoved me away and slapped me across the face. Now, I was the one that got the physical altercation. And she went round my entire family and said that I had grabbed her arms so badly that there were bruise marks all over her arm. Now, my brother was the one that broke the news to me that this is what she was saying to everyone. Luckily, my siblings actually knew that my mum was lying about this particular event because we've all experienced this. This was not an uncharacteristic event. This is pretty standard of my mother. So after I had finished talking to my brother about what my mum had said, I then, when I saw my mum, again, right after speaking with my brother, I said, "Let me see the bruises on your arm." And she goes, "I don't want to, I'm too sore." Because they didn't exist. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. So now, thinking of that and rewatching this, I'm seeing that she's actually, she's an idiot. This is pure narcissistic behavior, playing the victim. Narcissistic people play victim like this. Just letting you know. Cluster B, very much so. Very, very much so. But yeah. Here we go.
Okay. That's it. Rox? Going to see the medic.
Yeah, again, that's another strategic move that these kind of personalities use to become very reclusive and silent to make out that something is wrong. Okay, whenever they go into that sort of feel sorry for me mentality, it comes out in that way. So she didn't have to say anything. She just made it dramatic.
How are you feeling today?
I'm not very good. I don't feel very comfortable or happy at the moment because I slept separately last night because I felt uncomfortable because Ryan assaulted me and he's still here and he's just smirked at me as I walked past.
Has intervened appropriately by speaking to Ryan and is confident that there won't be any repetition and that you are safe in the house.
That's not acceptable.
Big Brother assures you that Big Brother has your safety first and foremost in mind.
It's already happened. It's already happened.
And that footage has been reviewed.
A grown man purposefully punched me. So I'm going to have to act my way through the rest of this show. thanks.
I will say this about her, though. She's a better actress than Amber Heard. All right. Now, whenever I get very highly emotional, I do get very highly emotional. I get angry very easily. I'm getting an awful lot better at controlling myself in many different situations. I don't take a lot of things personally anymore. So just as an example, I'm dealing with a couple of things in my life at the moment. The person who I can trust and confide in is my partner. I'm telling him all of these things. I'm letting out my emotions. I'm going through all of the planning for all of these things. And then I'll say to him, am I over exaggerating? Am I being dramatic? Did I misconstrue this? And when he breaks things down for me, yes, of course, I actually am. There's no such thing as anything that's bad that's happening to you unless there's certain unaliving. I don't know if I'm allowed to say the D word. I'm still learning. A normal person, when they have been told, I think you might have to reevaluate. Do you think that maybe there's a potential chance that you could be wrong? A healthy person will exercise those ideas. She does not drop it, and she's making sure she's going to try and get her way. Thankfully, there's too many cameras involved.
You all right? Talk to me, little one.
Something happened in here, an altercation.
What? I feel like we're getting watched, come on.
Yeah, we are being watched. So, Ryan punched me.
What?
It wasn't play fighting. He punched me repeatedly in my ribs there. I didn't say anything, but I was in so much pain all night. It was intentional to hurt. He went for it. He did it with his fist, and it was so sore and so aggressive.
Just show me here what he did. Just here, just on me. Oh, no!
Yes!
Okay, so she has now officially told someone and exaggerated everything that has happened. The sad thing is, this is what men have to deal with all the time. Now, I am not saying that there is no man that doesn't do this. Absolutely there is. And I have the evidence to prove it. Okay, there is a lot of women out there that do get these physical altercations. However, it is things like this, and remember, I do not consider narcissistic people to be human. It is things like this that mean that it is so hard for actual victims to ever get a voice, because things like this ruin it for actual victims of this kind of behavior and assault. This is the reason. This is everything that is wrong with the system. This is everything that's wrong, because you have dishonest, horrible people like this that are actually trying to ruin a good person. That's what makes this so much worse.
Little one.
Well, it's fucking hard in there, isn't it?
Do you think they're going to call me to the diary room? That's all I'm asking.
No, don't talk about it. The only people I care about this being relevant to right now is you two.
I'm lost, so it's cool with me. I'm lost.
All I need you to do is not listen to anyone else that plants seeds of doubt, and not hold it against me for being upset. It's because of something that's happened to me. And this is my reaction, but I'm okay.
But the show are dealing with it.
The show are dealing with it massively.
It's not for the scene.
The sad thing is that Ryan has no idea what's coming. He has no idea. He is going to be completely blindsided. She is gathering as many flying monkeys as she possibly can. She's a little tiny little woman that would never hurt a fly, because she has that whole persona, because she's so sweet and innocent looking. And she's using it to her advantage so that she can get her way with what's going to happen. I have no idea why she has decided to target Ryan, but this is full on army attack. This is flying monkey attack.
If he does stay in here, then after here, he'll be fucked. Depending on what it is, I don't know what it is.
He shouldn't have the privilege of winning this show.
The
potential chance of winning this show.
He shouldn't even continue the experience, which I said that.
This almost sounds culty. This is a great example of triangulation. She is creating flying monkeys right now.
Take your army to the haunted forest and bring me that girl and her dog. Now fly! Fly!
Oh, that's fucking shit, mate.
I don't want him to be here anymore. Because why should I? Well, no, I said I don't want to be under the same roof as him, and therefore why should I leave?
And all they've done is give you. Is that why you went in that other room?
Yeah.
Listen, if that was me, I would never. I don't know what it is, but I would never do anything like whatever he's done.
It's wrong. All I say is
I
wrong.
would walk out. I'd be like, fuck, man, I'm going. What a dick
But
I am.
he's had the audacity to do it.
This is a lot of bubbled up tension that is now really being created to create a massive storm so that Ryan is going to be put right into the eye of the storm and won't know what way to turn when everybody is right now being triangulated against him. This kind of stuff happens so much. This is a regular occurrence in life. Okay, you're always going to have people like this around you that are going to be trying to create some sort of drama so that they can make themselves feel better. That's all this is for. She is such an insecure little... Be nice, Olivia. Be nice. I can't be nice about these things. I really can't. Like I said, they're not human. It's okay. They're not human. I have experienced this in so many ways. So many ways, from my family, from my ex-boyfriends. Like I said, I've been a narcissist magnet for most of my life. And it really does destroy you in a certain way because you feel like everyone is always going to be against you. And you know then that you don't have anyone that you can trust. This is called stirring the pot.
Yeah, hey, Geez, I need to have a chat with you. I need to chat with you, mate. It's doing me head in. I've been told that you crack someone.
No.
No?
No, why?
Alright. Because I've been told, alright, that like I don't know if you're messing about or you've cracked someone there.
Well, I mean, I'm not supposed to speak about it in the diary room.
No, I don't know his atmosphere or nothing like that. I just want to have a strength with you like that. You, like, don't hit anyone. And I'm like...
No, it's not. It was like, I've been doing it with everyone. But it was the ring. And it was like, it wasn't, no, because I'm not...
Don't do it to anyone.
No, because it's not fair. It's not fair. It's not fair to be judged like that. It wasn't aggression. I've never been an aggressive person. It's not fair, man. It was nothing happened. And she made something out of something. And it's not fair. I'm really upset about it. It's not the sort of person I am, mate. It's not the person I am.
No, but all I'm saying is, just don't do that. Just don't do that to anyone then.
It's just my racial affection. Just like, hey, you know what I mean? Nothing. Come on, man. It's nothing. No one else ever say anything. But one person would, wouldn't they? One person would. Because the only person I know from this house is that one person. Do the maths, mate.
There's only two types of victims. There's the ones that love to play on it, and there's the ones that choose to survive it. Jason is getting very defensive here, and he has every right to. He's being accused of something that he didn't do. He play fought with someone, did a little thing, and now that little tiny thing has made him a massive villain. I do not blame Jason for acting this way. I act this way whenever I've been told that what I've did was completely wrong. If I know what I'm being accused of has been completely taken out of context, I will defend myself. And sometimes I do get to this level of defense. I'm learning to bring it back as much as I possibly can because getting into this state does not help anyone. But when we are being accused of something that did not have any validation to the actual events of that, this is what happens. And I will definitely start to believe someone if they start acting like this under accusation. Just saying. If they start going, no, I really didn't mean it like that. That's okay. I'm seeing value in that. Whereas someone's going, you're crazy. You're not understanding the situation. You just want to blame me. That's a person who has made it all up.
Tell me what you've done then. Stay.
Yeah. And then the ring's hit her there, and she's got a little big... And she goes, that hurt. That's the one thing she's got me. Well done.
I got told something different.
Yeah, well, you will do. You will do. You'll see when you get out, mate. You'll see when you get out.
It's just atmosphere. I don't want atmosphere. And that's the
well,
thing.
You know, who's caused it? Who's caused it? You're trying to help this person. This person can't be helped, bro. I'm telling you. It's hard for me because, you know, I know this person. The only person I do know in here.
Do you know why Ben and Ryan are fighting? Don't go there. They're fighting.
Badly?
No, not like a fight. Arguing.
Where?
But don't go over there. In the, Wait, Roxanne, so honestly, what do you do? Don't go over there.
But all I'll say is, from now on, boxing stays in the boxing thing. Just don't go even to him or anything.
Ben, I love you, mate. I can't have you speak serious to me now. I can't have it. What I'm saying, you can't say that to me. Like, I have to be told that the boxing stays there. Come on, man. It's not how it works. I'm black and white. What you see is what you get. I would never, ever do anything like that. But I know what she's doing to me. I know what she's doing. She's found one thing and got me and boom. But I'm not going to sit here and start telling
all I say.
Now she wants to be within earshot and visual of them just to make sure that they are understanding everything that she has said so far. She has created flying monkeys. Now she must make sure that these flying monkeys do her bidding. That is exactly what that is. She's making sure, I'm playing the sad face, playing victim, making sure, look, she's in pain. We will stand for her. That's all this is. Being held to such a villain status through false allegation, like, can you imagine how many men actually experience this? And I'm not just talking about men. Women experience this as well. How many people have to experience this kind of manipulation? This is not physical abuse. This is mental and emotional abuse. So she is accusing him of physical abuse, but she is now creating mental and emotional abuse towards him. And I've said this before. Any person who has survived any sort of abuse, especially physical abuse, if they've been in a physically abusive relationship, every single person that you meet that has been involved in those kind of relationships will say that the physical abuse was the easiest part to deal with. I've said that a million times on this channel, and I will forever keep saying it. Mental and emotional abuse has nothing on physical abuse. And a lot of people are going to attack me for saying that. When you feel like you are in the presence of potential death, you pray for it. You really, really do, because you're done by the time you get towards the end.
He's lying. He's lying.
Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry,
don't cry. Don't deal with it. I had to.
Don't cry.
Don't cry.
Doesn't speak to me, and then he went up to me, punched me in the ribs so hard. I felt it. I said, I'm a human being. I know how it feels when somebody does that.
It wasn't that though, was it?
It wasn't that.
Just like show what you did. Do it on me. Just do it on me. What you did the other day. Don't just do it on me. You don't do that.
This is why women don't say anything, because it's like turned around completely. He meant it. He meant it.
Women can't say anything, and men can't say anything either, because things like you exist.
Those lads, Jermaine, Dan and Ben, have been amazing. They've looked after me so much, but he's trying to manipulate them in thinking that I'm making this up. I'm not making it up. I'm not enjoying this anymore because of it. What he's done is he's calculated.
Do you know, there's a woman who I have met recently. She's a lawyer, and she says that they're becoming completely desensitized by people coming in and saying, my partner's a narcissist. They're really starting to become numb to that word. And unless a person can actually be proven to be one, they don't want that. That's another can of worms that I could really open here. The fact that she said he is trying to manipulate, and yet she is the one that's doing it. I really want people to understand who has said who is the manipulator and who is trying to defend themselves. He hasn't said the word manipulation once, but she's the one trying to do things here.
And he's tarnishing my reputation by saying this is an act. If this was an act, I'd have won a BAFTA, Big Brother, and I haven't even won a soap award.
You're better than Amber Heard.
He just admitted that he has had a problem with her from years ago. So in my eyes, you don't hit someone that you don't get on with.
Dan, it's important for you to know that Big Brother has looked at the footage and has fully investigated this incident, and you should trust that Big Brother has taken the appropriate action.
Okay.
It's perhaps worth thinking about why Ryan has not been removed from the house.
Okay. So she's playing up to it. I guess that the proof's in the pudding. He's still in here.
Big Brother has thrown people out for a lot less. A lot less. So if there was physical violence, yeah, of course, Big Brother would have gone, you're done, out you go. It's good seeing that this is finally clicking with the flying monkeys.
I hate seeing you like this, you know that, don't you? I want to give you a cuddle. Seriously.
It was done, didn't it?
I think you just have to look at it. Some people, they just want attention, honey.
I don't just take me down like that. I don't want to win this game.
Darling.
Look at how broken he is. This is what emotional and mental manipulation does. This is what triangulation does. This is what narcissists do. And people do not understand the level and extent of the damage that they cause. Not just to a person's reputation, but to their entire mindset. I really need to stress this enough. This is what they do.
I just don't get it. Just don't get it.
There are far worse people in here than you, and that is the bloody truth, mate.
I know you want to believe Roxanne that, but basically, if he had done anything wrong, he'd be out by now. So what he was saying is basically accurate. And that sucks, man. Trying to get someone thrown out of the house. Shaking your head about.
There's just a little bit of poison.
Oh, it's doing me head in.
Oh, it's been spread everywhere.
It's doing me head in, son.
Well, and now she's attached herself to Jermaine. Started last night.
Yeah. Okay, all right?
Thanks for being
No worries.
It's so fucking transparent.
I don't know what fucking to believe anymore in this place.
Nah.
I just want to point out, she doesn't know what's right and what's wrong anymore. And this is the other thing that narcissistic people tend to do. This is gaslighting. Gaslighting is where you can completely change a person's reality. And this is what she has now done to the entire group. Now that they're starting to cop on to what's going on, everything's changing.
I want to, like, that shit. I didn't try to be different. Oh, mate, come here. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, don't say sorry.
No, but I know now. Why?
I wanted to come out and talk to you as well. You alright?
Yeah. No, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Listen, mate. So basically, obviously, we've had Roxy telling us one thing, yeah? Crying, all that crap. Yeah?
For 2 days, Brian.
For 2 days, yeah? She's an actress, so she's like fully like, wasn't it? Sucked us all in, yeah?
Fuck me.
So we wanted to come out and let you know that you are not alienated from the group, or don't feel like we don't believe you. Like, do you know what? It's hard when you're in here and we have no, like you said, when you get out, you'll see it.
Oh, she brings him a cup of tea. That's so sweet. Look, the saddest part of this is Ryan is one of the luckiest people. And I know that that's a horrible thing to say given the circumstances, because he has just had his entire reputation tarnished within the group. The reason why I'm saying that he's the luckiest person is because, do you realise how rare it is for the flying monkeys to actually figure it out? It is so unbelievably rare. It's next to non-existent. It almost never happens. Ever. So the fact that Ryan has been granted this opportunity for people to come to the realization that they've been played by a narc, I'm really happy for him, but the damage this causes, wait till you see.
Just a little wee in the ribs like he has done to me, Gabby, all the boys, just playing around. He'd done it to Roxanne and might have accidentally hurt her. Basically accused Ryan going up to him, hitting her. So that's why she slept in the other room.
Is that why she slept in the room?
She said, "I'm scared to be in the room."
Oh my God, man! I can't even, honestly, man. It's not even funny, guys, man. What this guys, honestly, this is really breaking me, man. I can't even tell you. If this was you, you'd be heartbroken, man. You probably fucking me.
I didn't know that's why she slept in the room.
I didn't know. I was smiling and everything. I was smiling. I do it to you, Dr. Gabs. I do the same thing. It was just exactly the same, if not even lighter.
It's okay, darling.
For putting on the rooms and stuff.
I know. It's all right, though.
Right, and the proof's here, mate. The proof's here. Listen, everyone will be watching it. The proof's here. The proof's here. But listen,
it's not going to finish you.
I'll be honest with you.
All of us.
I didn't know that was to do with it as well.
No, neither did I.
See how much he's completely broken? That's the kind of damage that comes from triangulation and gaslighting. This is the horrible form of being targeted by a narc. Everything of what he is feeling, I can only imagine, like everything in his throat, his chest, his stomach was completely seized up. The amount of emotional stress that he was suffering from being accused of being a woman beater would have been absolutely catastrophic for his body, knowing that he didn't do anything wrong and being accused of something else.
What I'm saying is, I don't want to say what... I'm talking full-on acting mode, like she sucked us all in. Sobbing, shaking in bed, keeping herself awake.
I find really odd. I'm a woman. Why didn't she say to me what her... Because she knows that if she'd have said it to me, there's absolutely no way this... she's right out bang out of order.
That's a very, very, very good point, is the fact that she chose to go round all of the men and didn't say anything to any of the women, because women will be able to pick up on that level of BS. Because us women, we've been exposed to this. Like a lot of women have been exposed to this level of abuse. That's probably why she knew she couldn't go to that, because she wouldn't be able to sell that story as well as she could with the guys.
Crying right,
Yeah.
You have to go in now, Ryan, and see them. Come on, you've got to go in.
So do you want your bed?
Just that. The feeling of walking into a room knowing you're being spoken about. Woo! I know it's about her and she deserves this, but that's so gross. That's so gross. It's so gross.
Hello, Ryan.
But nothing. I've done nothing.
Ryan, just take a deep breath for Big Brother.
I just don't understand how you can do this. Don't understand it. I've got to get this show back on the road now, and I've got to make amends. And even though I don't feel as if I'm the one making amends, but I'm going to be the bigger person, Big Brother, and I'm going to put myself back together again because of, you know, it has broke me a little bit. I can't lie.
I feel that pain so hard. Like that is to the pit of my stomach. How bad he feels for nothing. Like, yeah.
And if I have offended anyone or have done something wrong, I am so sorry. I didn't have any idea, but I'm going to try and make this a happy household now for as long as possible, because I will not walk from this. I'm not a quitter. It's one thing I'm not.
That's a real man. Just so you know, that's a real man. I shouldn't laugh at that. The fact that he has been completely battered, punched into the ground mentally and emotionally, which then takes its toll physically, okay? I really need people to understand the mental and emotional stuff creates physical stuff within your body. So your entire central nervous system, this is what it does. It completely destroys you. It breaks you down to your very core. This has now gone into physical abuse. This is where this is. When people say mental abuse causes brain damage, what they actually mean is central nervous system damage. And of course, like, there are neurons in the brain that start to go under attack from this kind of abuse, mental and emotional abuse. So yes, this is what he is experiencing. All right, now we're going to have a look at the group confronting her. The group is trying to get her to acknowledge that there is a potential for maybe she misinterpreted it. Okay, this is what the group are trying to do.
I genuinely don't believe for 1 minute that he meant to hurt you.
Do you actually believe he meant to hurt you?
It hurt.
But I get that. But do you believe he meant to hurt you, did it intentionally, like, I'm going to hurt you?
At the time I did.
Did you tell him?
I said that really hurt, because he didn't really speak to me much. It came from nowhere.
That you really think he came over with the intention to hurt you?
Like what you're accusing him of doing, intentionally coming up and punching you in the ribs, do you honestly believe that he done that on purpose?
I think he would be very stupid to do it in a house full of surveillance. I have never felt an impact and a repetition of fists going into my ribs in my life.
So now she's making an excuse that because she has never felt fists go into her ribs ever in her entire life, which I find it very, very hard to believe, she believes that that's the reason why she can say what she has said. She is defending herself by saying, I've never experienced this, so therefore what I'm saying is true to me. Not, well, maybe I have misinterpreted this. At the time, this is something that has happened. It hurt. And I want validation. The good thing of this scenario is that all of this, every single word, every single image was caught on camera.
Rox, it's a terrible situation. I can only tell you what I think, right? You know, like, in my opinion, you need to do the right thing, right? But is it too late is the question.
I need to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So now she's doubling down.
Which is what?
Tell the truth.
I've told the truth.
Okay, well then if you have, you have.
I've never told anything but the truth. I've just told how I felt in that moment.
She's really trying to alter again. So she knows exactly what she has done. She knows exactly what it is, but she's trying to minimize everything yet again. She's not willing to take any responsibility for this. And that is a cluster B trait. They cannot accept when they have done anything wrong. And there's never going to be a proper apology. There's just going to be, I'm sorry you felt that way. I'm sorry that the situation got to the way it did. Those are not apologies.
Yeah. Love you, mate.
Let's listen.
Don't cheer.
Yeah. Get Roxy out.
Mind you, I quite like the public vote. That was quite nice, you know.
Oh yeah, I loved the chanting.
You know, well, you're going to get that, aren't you? Because what they've seen.
But why would that make them dislike me?
I don't know. You need to look at that yourself. That's not for anyone else to say. I didn't know what was happening then. If you'd come to me and you'd have said to me what actually happened, I know it was difficult, but if you had, I'd have said you have to go now, because if I thought one of these fellas hit me and meant it, I'd go. I'm only telling you what I think the public feel. I could be wrong.
And see, the fact that she turned around and said, I'm not going with what the public feel, I could be wrong. That is a more stable person. I don't know who that is, but clearly she is very intelligent, clearly. But no, this is karma. Look, if there is one thing that I have definitely learned over the last few years, there is no situation where telling the truth is going to be your worst downfall. If you're going to lie about anything, it will come back and it will bite you back. But if you're honest and upfront and take accountability for anything that ever happens, including what is done to you, there is always a better outcome and it will always come back in your favor. But if you are going to lie and trying to ruin someone, it will come back. Karma is real.
Hello, Roxanne. How are you?
Not good. I don't know what I've done. Ben's gone. People booed him. I heard chants outside saying, get Roxy out. And the majority of this house don't want to sit near me. And Ben was like my only friend. No one likes me.
Your brother thinks asleep is what you need right now.
You took my favourite person away. How am I going to get through the rest of this shit now? Who am I going to sit next to? I want to go home.
Are you saying you want to leave the house, Roxanne?
Yes, I need to be around normal people. It's awful. To be sent to Coventry, to be isolated and cut off, it's not fair.
Sorry, just the way that she's sitting there, like crying in this manner from a situation that she created. From the way that she is talking and crying right now, all I see is my mom. I should not say that. My mom used to do this sort of thing all the time. She would be on the floor, crying her eyes out, rolling around as if she was in agony and pain, like sobbing from something that I had done. One was flirting with a boy. When I was 16, I flirted with someone, and that was cause for her to break down, cry, roll around in the floor as though she was being beaten up. I'm like, what do I do? Standard practice, you know.
She nearly ruined me. And if I'm honest, it was tough what you put us through tonight. It was really, really tough. But you know the one thing I wanted more than anything, the one thing I was so happy about, is when they said get Roxy out, because I knew I was going to be okay. Because you don't know what's on the outside. You cocooned in here, and I needed to hear that because I was so scared that I'd let everyone down.
I feel everything for Jason. So few people get to experience that validation, knowing that what they have done, what they've gone through, their experience of this kind of abuse, like mental and emotional abuse through triangulation and gaslighting, so few people actually get that validation. So few. And especially in the short time frame that was. Like, I think that was over the course of, 5 days. That is insane. No one gets it that quick. Some people don't ever get it. This happens so freaking often. This is so much more common than you think. And it is not just in scenarios like this. It's in scenarios of relationship. It's in scenarios of families. It is in scenarios of work. You have no idea just how often this happens. And if you are tuned in, you will see this everywhere you go. Now we're going to have a little look at the interview between Roxanne and Emma Willis. Emma's face in this, well, you can see for yourself.
So Roxanne, this whole situation started almost a week ago now. It was blown out of all proportion. But even 2 days later, when you reenacted it on Ben, it was totally different.
How it felt when he did it, it hurt. I can't prove a feeling. No one can. The more I thought about it, it became heightened, and I just felt, I convinced myself he meant to do that.
If it hurt, it will always hurt. So why did watching something change it? Because surely it's the same incident.
Because I saw what every single person saw, and I don't blame anyone for thinking, why did she, first of all, make light of it, joke it off, kind of skip off. I'm more shocked at myself than anyone out there is.
A lot of us do actually skip over the actual emotions that we're feeling at the time, especially in immediate confinement, because sometimes you need time to process. Sometimes whenever you do process things, it's nowhere near as bad as what it was. Sometimes when you process things, you exacerbate it. And this is exactly what she did. But even when she was challenged multiple times by the housemates, she kept on saying that what he did was bad. She never once ever started exercising the idea that she could be wrong. And this is where the problem is. If she was able enough to take accountability for what was going on, this never would have gotten to this point. And she would have been saying sorry. She would have, like, all of that sort of stuff. If she was a good person, she would have actually gone to Ryan himself. But she's not.
Did you ever consider broaching the subject with Ryan when it happened?
No.
We've seen you in the house on numerous occasions when there has been subjects that needed to be broached immediately. You've gone and done it. You've gone up to Hardeep and say, what have you been saying about me? Why didn't you feel like you should go up to Ryan and say, you know, and nip it in the bud? Why didn't he get the chance that other people had?
That's something I've asked myself. I think it was because I didn't think he liked me.
So when other contestants that you didn't really know, you were absolutely fine to go up to them and say, oh, are you talking about me? But you couldn't go up to a person who you did know. They've worked in the industry together for quite some time. And like they said, there was an altercation a few years ago. So you're perfectly fine to go up to people that you're not overly familiar with and start challenging them. But for a person that you don't like, you're automatically scared of them for the play fighting incident that you have over-exaggerated. Why wouldn't you go up to a person that you don't like and say, why would you hit me like that? If that's your personality, that you are absolutely fine to go up and confront people for saying something, why wouldn't you have that same part of you for what happened? I can understand if he actually knocked you out, you'd be terrified. Yeah, absolutely. But that was nothing.
Can you imagine if those cameras hadn't been there? You would have ruined somebody.
It cripples me with embarrassment and shame that I could have put somebody in that position, seeing the footage of Ryan in the diary room, distressed.
You did see him distressed in the house. You know, lots of people are not buying your apology.
I fully agree and understand with every single person's reaction and perception to that. If I'd have been at home watching that, I would have been the same. I know.
A lot that you said, you repeatedly as well called him a liar to various people, and that he was manipulative and calculating. What do you want to say to Ryan and his family?
I know.
Have you spoken or tried to contact anybody?
No, and I wouldn't impose on them like that.
Do you not think they deserve an apology?
Absolutely, and I gave them that this morning. I want to again.
So, okay, that doesn't make any sense. I haven't spoken to them. I don't want to impose on them, but she sent an apology. Now, what kind of an apology are we talking here? Was it a written statement or was it a video? But either way, you tried to ruin somebody. The amount of people that will try to destroy someone just by association. This was just by association. And that was enough for all of this to turn the way that it had.
We've had over 10,000 questions come in for you. Ron Innes has asked, what is your response to other people who you've worked with who've said that you have accused them of violence in the past?
I haven't read any tweets.
There's been a couple of people who have said they have had similar, if not the same, incidents with you over the years. They have all kind of commented on being a compulsive liar, that karma comes back. What do you say to that?
It's devastating. No one wants to hear that, not from anyone, let alone people you've worked with.
Forget everything that's happened in that house. How many people have been subjected to this at her hands? How many are there? And there are so many people like her that would say the exact same thing.
It's massive.
There's a lot of grudges
I know.
to be holding.
I'm the most hated girl in Britain right now.
You could have ruined him.
I know. All I can say is I'm devastated and I'm sorry.
It's a huge lesson for you to learn and to deal with going forward. Could you forgive you?
I would want to.
Thanks, everybody.
Emma's face is not buying that. I just wanted to point that one out. I would want to. Is that a response? If I knew that I had hurt someone really, really bad and I was asked the question, would you forgive yourself for this? Would you forgive you? I really do suffer from guilt very, very easily. There's a lot of things that obviously I have done in my past that I truly, truly regret. This bloody light. Not going to stop me from saying this though, and that's not the first time that I've had to say that. I need a new light. Would I forgive myself? I don't know if I could. Knowing that I had hurt someone that much, I still struggle with the things that I have done even as a kid. As a kid, I know that I've hurt people, and to this day, I still struggle with this. I've even brought this up in therapy, wondering when can I forgive myself for how I treated certain people when I was a kid. I've written letters, I've done all of my therapy, and the therapy does help, but no. The answer to clearly trying to destroy someone with absolute malice, could you forgive yourself for that? The answer to that should be no. I cannot forgive myself for that. And I don't believe in living in guilt. If you do something with no intention of hurting people, but you do anyway, you can give yourself the grace to forgive yourself over time. Absolutely. But when you are intentionally trying to do something to someone, when you intentionally want to hurt people, you really, really should never forgive yourself for what you've done. And you need to learn from it. You need to make sure that you will never do it again. That is what, personally, I believe. But in saying that, I am only me, I am only human, I am only an opinion. And who's to say that my opinion is right? I certainly don't believe that. Anyway, guys, Jason did pretty well after this. He ended up winning this particular series. There's not much about Roxanne these days. Apparently, she fled the country, moved to the US, and married a firefighter. So her life has completely changed. She had to get away from the UK because of this. I can only imagine that that would be quite a bad thing, but I only have so much sympathy for people like this who clearly have a reputation of trying to hurt as many people as possible. So now she's in a whole other country doing the exact same thing.
Today, smoking is going to save lives.
I truly hope that you enjoyed this episode of Trauma.HQ. I hope that there was some information in here that has helped you understand a little bit about what these things end up doing to us. But if you enjoyed, please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, tell me whatever you want. It's not going to affect me. I'm already traumatized. All right, guys, have an amazing week, and I will see you again soon on another episode of Trauma.HQ. Mwah.